My name is ALIYU, ILIAS. Matters that concerns you as a consumer, where we educate you on goods and services and fight for your interests and protect your privileges.
The commission, does this. We do investigate
bank. So when you lodge a complaint with the bank and after 2 weeks, maybe you didn't get a response or you are not satisfied with their resolution.
TSTV, connecting your world.
Welcome to consumer community, where we discuss your privileges, your rights, and all that you need to know about how things are going in Nigeria. Perhaps, like I said, on this program, we'll continue to educate you about what you need to know and what you need to do part-time, because you also have some responsibility as well as you have your own rights. Today, it's a very, very interesting thing. We're going to have a very beautiful and robust discussion on what concerns you, because I know you are a road user, and perhaps your family, everybody go and do something one time or the other on the road. But how safe is that road? What is your responsibility on that road? What do you expect to observe as a road user? Also, we want to look at how the next person, perhaps there is this common saying that you should see yourself as the only sane person on the road. See other person as a potential mad person, so to say, unquote. And because of that, you need to also be cautious and exercise a lot of discipline. Today, because of that, today we will be extracting and discussing on road safety in Nigeria. And with me to discuss that today, no other better person, no other better institution, no other better organization except Federal Road Safety Corps. And today, we are so lucky to be having a deputy commander to be discussing, corps commander to be discussing with us today. So, fortunately, she's an educator excellence, because she also heard the Federal Road Safety Radio 107.1 Abuja. I know you must have been listening to that beautiful radio station. Permit me to welcome Mrs. Honey OGUNDAYO, Head National Traffic Radio. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
It's so glad to have you today, and I will always want to look at Federal Road Safety job as the most challenging job, because we do see you in every local government, every state, and in national. Well done to your organization.
Thank you so much.
As we move on, we'd like to know and want you to buttress on your mandate. What is the mandate of FRSC in Nigeria?
Thank you so much. Let me start by saying the Federal Road Safety was established in 1988 with the decree number 45 and amended by decree number 35 of 1992. And our mandate is simple: to eradicate road traffic crashes on the road and create a better, safe motoring environment for people.
Safe motoring environment for people. Now, you know there is some prerequisite as a driver that I expect to have, maybe such as my driver's license, my documents, checking of my vehicle, making sure that my vehicle is in the right condition. So how do you establish this? How do you bring people closer and make sure they have all this documentation? Perhaps most of us are not even a well-trained driver. You know, like people used to say, when you are in Lagos, you have a different driver in Lagos. Then when you go to Abuja, you have a different drivers, and perhaps maybe other countryside, you have different. Is it a uniform thing? Is there any standard a driver is expected to observe per time?
Yes, drivers in Abuja and Lagos or anywhere all over the country should be the same, because the first thing you do as a driver or a driver to be is to attend driving school. Driving school? Yes, we have some accredited driving schools. And what we see mostly is that somebody, maybe the father or the mother, is having a car at home. You just see a boy of 14, maybe because he's big, started driving. That is rampant. Maybe within only estate, they wouldn't come out. So if it is within estate, how do we escalate that as well? Some people even do outside. Maybe they don't know. That's why what we do mostly is public enlightenment. We go everywhere. We go to churches, we go to mosques, we go to motor parks, anywhere we can see people, we go and enlighten them. because we believe that ignorance is not an excuse.
At all.
So we do more of enlightenment, talk to people, know what to do at any particular
So
time.
if I told you attain this very age that you can drive a car, what are those things that you also need to have? Because that you are 25 years or 35 years does not mean you are going to be a good driver, except those prerequisites are adequately observed. So what are those things that are basic that I must have before I can hit the road driving?
Okay, thank you so much. Before you can even try to go to driving school, you must be 18 years for private drivers, while you must be 26 years for commercial vehicle drivers. Now, you must attend 26 sections in the driving school. After attending the 26 sections, then you get your driving school certificate. So is that the number on the driving school certificate is the one you are going to use to when you obtain a form. That's the number you put on the form. Then it will be processed. After the processing, then you can get the temporary license. Then after 60 days, you get the main license.
So now, as a driver, I assume I have gone to this training school. I've observed what I need to observe, and I'm lucky to qualify to obtain a driver's license. Now, does it mean if I have this driver's license, I can drive a car, I can drive a truck, I can drive a caterpillar, or I can hit the road, drive anything drivable?
No, we have different classes of licenses. We have class A, we have class B for private people, we have C, like that, we have class J for people that are living with special abilities. Then we also have another class for the articulated vehicles. So before you, just like I said earlier, you know, when you want to start driving, you must be 18 years. That's for private vehicles. But when it comes to anything commercial, you must be 26 years and above. Because we know that driving is a thing of the mind.
Commercial, you must be 26 years before you can drive a commercial vehicle, but 18 for private, right?
Yes, because driving is for matured minds. It's not just because maybe somebody is just big and you are underage, you just take a vehicle outside, you know. Youthful exuberances may be there at times. So we
even cast stunting might set in.
Yes, we appeal to people that please know what you are doing. When you want to drive, don't drink, don't, you know, all those things, all those distractions, you have to avoid it. So all this is, prospective drivers need to know them.
And that's why we organize such platforms so that you can have that opportunity to discuss. But before we move forward, my concern majorly is on articulated vehicle. Because if you look at articulated vehicle, it causes a lot of mayhem around. And we discovered that over time now, we've been seeing a very young person driving this articulated vehicle. And when you see articulated vehicle, even a single person cannot drive. You need somebody by your side who will perhaps be telling you that that side is dangerous. You can move here, move the right. You know, these are the things that we expect. But the major challenge is that we do have people that are within 25 years, so to say 26 years, and we climb this articulated vehicle and drive it. And most of them could possibly be under the influence of drugs, so to speak. So what are we doing to tame such things? Because they cause a lot of mayhem. And you know, accident is not what you patch. Once there's accident, it could be loss of life, it could be loss of limbs, even hands. You know, a lot of things can happen. It could lead people to amputated limbs and what have you. So what is how old are we looking at before you can drive? How are they being checked so that they will not be under the influence of alcohol or drugs, so to say? And what are the standards that is expected for articulated drivers in Nigeria?
Thank you so much. You know, when I was talking the other time, I talked about the need for somebody to be matured when you want to drive. Now, talking about articulated drivers, vehicle drivers, like I said, we go to motor parks to go and enlighten them, to talk to them. You know, mostly people that before they drive, they tend to want to take one shot of one drink or the other. Say that will make their eyes to see very well. But I tell you, it makes their eyes to dim and they cannot even see very well. When you are looking at one person, you can be seeing like 4 persons. At times, when they see, most of those drivers, when they see a smaller vehicle, to them it will be like as if they are looking at maybe a fly.
Interesting.
So then, aside the fact that we do a lot of public enlightenment, we also do enforcement.
Okay.
Because enlightenment without enforcement is just like entertainment. So what we do is that we tell them it's not about, you know, arresting you, say go and pay so amount of money, but we want attitudinal change.
Attitudinal change.
Anytime you are going out, remember that your loved ones are waiting for you, because everybody is looking for one thing or the other in this life. Right. So you must drive to stay alive. You know, we have seen so many reckless driving on the road, senseless killings. The FRSC
frown at that.
Frown at that.
We even noticed that, you know, before we used to see unions, garages, that they are like, most of their drivers are under that influence. But we could see that there's a partnership between you and them. We could see reduction in it. But how well is that going to be sustained over time?
Yes, we have good rapport with the management of all these parks, because they also see what we are seeing. And, you know, just like you said earlier, when a crash has occurred, say that it's maimed the person, say that the person lives with permanent disability. It's even worse when you are not alive to share the story. So what we tell people is that you need to stay alive. You need to be alive. So the park managers, all the other transport unions, they cooperate with us. They are stakeholders. We do organize park rallies together, talk to their people, and I know they also discipline their people, because, you know, life has no duplicate.
Well, I hope what happens and what is obtainable in FCT in Lagos also happen in the countryside, because, you know, the arm of law can also always cut people when it happens in the city. But when it is in the, you know, core areas, I pray, I hope, not pray. And like you said, when there is enlightenment without what? Enforcement is like entertainment. So we want to see people coming to the long hand of law, gotten them. And but before we go on a short break, I like us to also look at the, would I say the dichotomy, the relationship between Federal Road Safety Corps and vehicle VIO, inspection officer. Thank you. So what is the relationship between, because most time we do have issues, we will think, should it be VIO that we'll go to, should it be road safety? Perhaps the major question is who issue license? Okay,
driver's license issuance is a tripartite arrangement.
Okay, tripartite.
Yes, we have the FRSC,
right,
we have the Board of Internal Revenue, and we have the VIOs. So, you know, the role of the FRSC is that we produce this driver's license.
Okay.
So, but it's also the duty of the VIOs to test you. You know, after you have finished with the driving school, you need to go to VIO's office for testing on your competence. Right. You know, some people, they must have passed through the driving school and still they cannot drive.
Okay.
So they cannot drive well. So you must have passed, must have been seen to have passed the competence test.
Okay.
Organized by the VIOs.
Okay. Now, does it mean, another question that Nigerians would like to know is that, what offenses will VIO arrest you for? What offenses will FRSC arrest you for? Perhaps police also involved. So we'd like to know the relationship between these three organizations, because most time road safety will arrest you, you know, you wouldn't know which area. Perhaps Nigerians like to know, what is my offense when I'm seeing a road safety officer? What is my offense when I get to see a vehicle inspection officer? Perhaps can the police even do the duty of a road safety officer and a VIO? You know, we need to clarify that area, please, madam.
Thank you so much. But please permit me to stay with the road safety.
Okay,
what free. Road safety will do for you when they meet you on the road.
Right.
You know, when you are going on the road, we tell people there's something that we call morning parade on your vehicle. Make sure that you have your side mirrors. Make sure that your wiper is working. Make sure that your lighting system is working. You know, when we sight you on the road, we are looking out for anything that can lead to a crash on the road, and we don't want it. We have zero tolerance for crash. So what we are saying in essence is that if we stop it, at times it's not everybody that is being stopped on the road that will be arrested. But some people, they don't know this. They thought that immediately you see the road safety, the next is for them to ask me for my papers. The next
And
is
they
for
would
them
like to turn around and look for another route.
Because most of the time we have seen that a crash can occur, and that's what we are trying to stop. So when you meet with any of our officers on the road, stop for them. Don't
TSTV, connecting your world.
Zuma
Your world.
community on BRTV. My name is ALIYU, ILIAS. Matters that concerns you as a consumer, where we educate you on goods and services and fight for your interests and protect your privileges.
The commission, does this. We do investigate.
Bank. So when you lodge a complaint with the bank and after 2 weeks, maybe you didn't get a response or you are not satisfied with their resolution.
TSTV, connecting.
Thank you for being with us, and we have been speaking with the head of National Traffic Radio 107.1 Abuja, Mrs. Honey Ogundayo, Deputy Commander. Like we have been discussing, madam, we want to educate Nigerians more about this vehicle we are talking about. We have, like we have mentioned, class of driver's license. We also want to look at articulated vehicle. What vehicle are we calling, or is articulated?
Articulated vehicles are those big vehicles like trailers, tankers, all those long vehicles.
Let me say it in the more lay language. Those vehicles that is joined with the head. The head is joined with the body.
Okay.
So that's what we now call articulated vehicle. Interesting part of this program, madam. We are in. When we say Ember month, we simply means September, October, November. In fact, I like to put December even in Ember month because Ba also ended. Yes, it's part of it, right? But the major thing is that these months are being identified or erroneous. this month? Why do we have to also have our mind that December, October, November, there's always accidents? Why do we have our mind fixated?
Month or this particular 4 months. Unsafe tires in order to arrive alive.
We need to arrive at
this particular month. But the thing that we are telling people is that drive to stay alive, because this particular month, if somebody did not drive to stay alive and the other side or the other way round happened, your brothers, your sisters,
your wife, your husband,
your loved ones, everybody will be pledging at that particular time, I will be like a father to you, I'll be like a mother to you. But please stay alive to take care of your children. Don't let them say, let a family member be taking care of them, because everybody is looking for money, looking for what to eat.
Now,
we will not meet what we eat.
Right. Have a look at it like that, but it has cultural undertone. As an average African man, let me even say Nigerians, we all want to go travel during December to go and see my mother. I want to go for age grade meetings in December. I want to do party. Some even fix wedding during this December period. Now, how do we really reduce all these things? As much as we cannot influence the culture, but we can as well find way during maybe by road. And because I recall virtually all this period, we hardly find road safety in the city center. It must be on the highway trying to reduce traffic. Example, let's look at local Kogi. It's always very, very busy. But how do we really actually reduce that? If a policeman puts a roadblock on the road, it means caution. They want to maybe check something. So what do you put in place during this period to make sure people drive slowly compared to how they drive, or generally, as it were?
Thank you so much. We must also appreciate the government of the day, because over 300 vehicles have just been injected into the FRSC family, and all these vehicles have been deployed, both motorbikes, ambulances, to all these strategic points. We also have some places we call camps, and all these things is in a bid to make sure that we are everywhere. The feasibility is very clear now. You can hardly move from one place to the other that you not see about late night job. Daytime, you know, it